Welcome back to the May-June 2025 Principles of Business Paper 2. We're back at it, guys. Let's go. First question. Number one. Barter was the main means of payment utilized in early economies. Define the term barter for 1 mark. Barter is a direct exchange of goods and services for other goods and services without the use of money. And just like that, you get your 1 mark. Part 2. Outline one disadvantage of barter. One disadvantage of barter is the lack of double coincidence of wants, where both parties must want what the other is offering, making trade difficult and inefficient. And that is for 2 mark. Part 3. State two characteristics of money. Two characteristics of money are durability and portability. Moving on. Figure 1 shows a diagram of a check. Sunshine Commercial Bank number 007, April 10th, 2025, $6,000. Paid to the order of ABC Traders, $6,000. Kimani Clark. Identify the drawer of the check in figure 1 is Kimani Clark. Identify the drawee of the check in figure 1, that is Sunshine Commercial Bank. List 3 instruments of payment other than checks used in modern economies. So we have credit card, internet banking, and electronic transfers. These are other ways in which we can transfer money instead of using checks, which are kind of outdated in this modern era. And that is 3 marks. Part C, differentiate between each of the following pairs of terms. We have private sector and public sector. The private sector refers to private individuals or investors who employ the factors of production. And we all know what's the factors of production: land, labor, capital, and enterprise or entrepreneurship. Using personal savings, loans, and private investments to maximize profit. On the other hand, the public sector refers to the government's use of let us continue, factors of production to provide services to the public, which are funded mainly through taxation and government revenue. That's for 2 mark. Private limited companies and public limited companies. Private limited companies usually have 2 to 50 shareholders, which prevents shares from being sold to the public. Additionally, it is family owned or closely held with Ltd at the end of its name. Okay? Conversely, public limited companies, which are usually larger, have a minimum of 2 shareholders with no maximum limit, allowing them to sell shares to the general public. They also have PLC at the end of their names, usually. Okay? Usually. Part D. Explain one advantage and one disadvantage to the society in a mixed economy where compared with the society in a free enterprise or capitalist economy. Let's go. Advantage. A mixed economy benefits society because government provides essential services such as education, healthcare, and roads, while private businesses also provide goods and services. This combination results in a better balance between meeting people's needs and wants compared to a free enterprise economy where profit is the focus or the motive, the profit motive, that is. And here's a note, for example, government hospitals and schools may be provided at a low cost or free, encouraging everyone in society to benefit, right? So usually in this mixed economy, the government will provide the essential goods and services that is really beneficial to society. That is, there's a positive externality, a positive benefit going towards everyone within the community or society, and where usually the private individuals will focus on goods that are not so essential. Disadvantage. A mixed economy may lead to government regulations limiting business creativity and efficiency. These regulations could slow down decision making and reduce innovation compared to a free enterprise economy where businesses operate freely. Hmm, that's a valid point. So let's see the note well right here. A business may need government approval before expanding, which delays growth and reduces efficiency. Um, Not necessarily, but it may happen. It may happen. That doesn't have to be true. But yeah, for 6 marks, here is your 2 points you're gonna have for advantage and disadvantage. Number 2, list 3 documents utilized in the operations of a business. 3 documents used in the business operations are the invoice, receipt, and purchase order. Part 2, state 3 reasons why it is necessary to keep proper records of business transactions. 3 reasons for maintaining accurate records of business transactions are to assist managers in making informed decisions, encourage accountability, and assess business performance. That is for 3 marks. Part B, describe each of the following types of insurance policies. So we have public liability. Public liability insurance protects a business against claims made by the members of the public for injuries or damages caused by the business activities, products, or premises. Because we all know there are businesses that will produce something and they may cause harm or have a negative externality on society. And some persons may decide to sue the company. So there is a policy for that. There's an insurance product that protects the company against that. This insurance covers compensation costs and legal expenses if the business is found liable. So if the business is found liable, then they are covered, right? Because we all know that could be an expense that the business don't want to really take on at that very moment since they are profit driven. So yeah, these days there are many insurance products out there for businesses to take advantage of and for the insurance companies as well to make a lot of money because I will say that insurance is not cheap, and for a company to take insurance on that type of in that type of structure will cost them every year to buy that insurance. So yeah, it's a win-win for everyone in this capitalistic society. Moving on, we have employer's liability. Employer's liability insurance protects a business against claims made by employees who are injured because ill or suffer loss becomes ill or suffer loss, that should be as a result of their work. It provides compensation for medical expenses, lost wages, and other related costs. Okay, so any employee who becomes ill or suffer loss as a result of their work, there's a compensation for that. There's insurance policy for that as well, too, that will take care of it. Okay, all right. Part C, define each of the following principles of insurance and state one example of each principle. We have insurable interests. Insurable interest refers to an individual being able to insure something in which they have a monetary or financial interest. Insurable interest usually involves ownership and the person who suffer a financial loss if the item is damaged or destroyed. Note well, a businessman insures his factory because he owns it and will suffer a financial loss if it burns down. So anybody who have an interest in something that is of value or monetary interest, they may seek to insure that so that they can hedge against any loss or damage. Basically, that is what insurable interest is. Okay. Indemnity or indemnity means that in the event of a loss, the insured person should be restored to the same financial position as before the loss, without making a profit or suffering additional loss. And we should know that, for example, of course, if a factory insured for 900,000 suffers fire damage worth $500,000, the insurance company will compensate only for the actual loss, a portion insured, not more than the value lost. So that is just the insurance company looking out for their own interest, basically. So that is the cause of the damage. 500,000, we only gonna be compensating you for that $500,000. We don't really bothering. Basically, what they're saying is here is that they don't really bothering about the other segment that is somewhat okay or somewhat fine. Okay, we are not gonna insure you for the 900,000 maximum or everything, just the portion that is damaged. And some may say it's not fair, but that's a policy right there. Moving on, we have a scenario. Let's read the scenario together. We have part D. Mr. Cole has a phone that he would like to sell to his 13-year-old neighbor Raul. He approaches Raul, who is very excited about the phone, and although the phone is expensive, it is the latest in the series. Raul tells Mr. Cole that he would only deposit half of the agreed price and that he would pay the balance at the end of the month, at which time Mr. Cole would deliver the phone to him. Raul's mother of the transaction, that should be heard of the transaction and tells Ralph that he recently received a phone and should not have agreed to purchase another one. She goes to Mr. Cole and asks that he immediately return Ralph's deposit. Mr. Cole bluntly refuses and insists that he had a contract with Ralph and that he would sue for breach of contract if Ralph did not go through with the agreement. Part 1. Identify the principle of contract relevant to the case above. The relevant principle is capacity. Note well, minors, that is persons under 18 years of age, generally lack the legal capacity to enter into contracts for non-essential goods and services. They can only enter into contracts for necessities or necessaries. Okay? Which are goods or services essential for their reasonable existence, such as food, clothing, or education. Now, some may argue that, hey, a phone in this modern era is an essential item that we should have because we can do many things to our phone. We can order food, we can call for help, insurance, blah, blah, blah. Now, based on the scenario, he already has a phone. His mom gave him a phone. Okay? He has one. So he don't need a next one, does he? And is it really essential for him to have a phone to leave? I don't. I don't think so. I don't think so. Part 2, explain whether Mr. Cole is likely to succeed if he sues Ralph. Mr. Cole is unlikely to succeed because Ralph is 13 years old and therefore a minor. Since the phone is not considered a necessary item for a 13-year-old, unlike food, clothing, or shelter or education, the contract is not legally binding, so it will not hold legally. Courts generally protect minors from their own immaturity and will not enforce contracts for non-necessaries against them. For 3 marks, that is it. Suggest 2 actions the parties could take to peacefully settle the dispute without going to the courts. To resolve the dispute peacefully, Mr. Cole could return Ralph's deposit and negotiate a smaller informal agreement if appropriate. Alternatively, both parties could involve a neutral third party mediator to facilitate an agreement that satisfies both sides without resorting to legal action. And that is for 2 marks right there. Moving on, part 3, E. Businesses engage in public relations activities to boost their image. State three forms of public relations activities in which businesses engage. Three primary forms of public relations activities that businesses engage in are sponsoring activities, whether it's through it could be athletic games, it could be character, it could be cricket competition or whatever. Issuing press releases and offering scholarships. Part B, describe each of the following methods of promoting sales. We have loyalty points. Loyalty points are a feature of loyalty schemes that reward customers for making purchases. Customers earn points on purchases, which they can redeem for rewards or discounts once they accumulate a certain number of points. We should know that this reward system encourages repeat business and customer loyalty over time. So the customer is more likely to purchase something from that store if they know that they're getting points. And usually these points could be redeemed. So it's like a it's like psychology they run on these customers here. Just for them to purchase more stuff from the company. Well, it's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal. It's illegal, so you cannot really blame the company for implementing this scheme. Bundling. Bundling, which is closely related to strategies like BOGO, buy one get one offers, where customers receive additional items at a discount of free when they purchase a product. Note well, these strategies increases sales by encouraging customers to buy more than they originally intended to or intended. A lot of stores like to use these strategies, this strategy in particular right here. Part C, describe each of the following price marketing activities. We have pricing. Pricing is the process of determining the amount customers must pay for a product or service. The price set by a business depends on factors including production costs, competitors' price, target market, profit objectives, and marketing goals. And that is for 2 marks. Part 2, distribution. Distribution refers to the movement of goods and services from producers to consumers. It involves selected channels of distribution, including wholesalers, retailers, or agents, so that these products reach customers conveniently. And then we have part D. Firms utilize different strategies to determine the price at which products will be sold. Complete the table below by identifying each pricing strategy described in column 1. So the first one is Just Cool Beverages recently introduced a new line of lemon-based soft drinks with an introductory price below that of similar products. That is penetration pricing right there, a competitive pricing right there. Part 2, all bakeries in San Potor sell sugar buns at approximately the same price. Price leadership or collusive pricing is the strategy that is being implemented there. And part 3, the Jazz Festival charges different admission prices for students, adults, and seniors. That is price discrimination that is happening right there. Charging different prices to different customers or group of customers, even if the cost of production is relatively the same. And then we have this. E. Examine the advertisement shown in figure 2. Part 1, name the type of advertising shown in figure 2. That is persuasive advertising or competitive advertising. Part 2, state the main objective of the type of advertising displayed in figure 1. The main objective is to persuade customers to use the service being offered. Identifying one group being targeted by the advertisements. Students preparing for the POB examination or CSEC students is the target audience. Part 4 suggests one effective communication medium that Mr. Genius could use to present the advertisement to his target markets. We can, or he can use social media, for example, apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, or Facebook. Since we all know Gen Z does be more on social media than reading a newspaper. On part five, outline one reason for the communication medium suggested in part four. Social media, I would say, is very effective because most students frequently use these platforms, allowing the advertisement to reach the target audience quickly and at a low cost. Part 4A, outline two rules of transportation in the marketing of goods. Transportation enables goods to move from producers, that is, the manufacturers, to consumers or retailers. Transportation ensures that products reach the right place at the right time, making them available in different markets to regional or international markets. Expanding into these regional and international markets increases sales opportunities and enables businesses to reach a broader customer base, and that is our full marks. Part B, identify the most suitable mode of transportation for the movement of each of the following products. We have vaccines from Canada to Grenada, that will be air transportation. We have lumber from the parish of St. Joseph to the parish of St. George in Dominica, road transportation, of course. Statistics on CXC results from Barbados to St. Lucia. Usually, the best way is through electronic transfer, that is, the internet or email. And we have crude oil from Trinidad and Tobago, sea transport. We're going to have the oil tanker doing that job right there. Part C, I state two problems that may be encountered in the distribution of mangoes from the Caribbean to the United States of America. Two problems in the distribution of mangoes from the Caribbean to the United States are spoilage due to perishability and transportation delays. That's a big one right there, transportation delays. Part 2, other than the use of global positioning systems, GPS, technology outlined two measures that firms could take to reduce some of the problems encountered in the distribution of goods globally. Firms can select strong, durable, and suitable packaging materials and maintain proper storage conditions, such as temperature controlled warehouses, which help preserve products and extend shelf life, thereby aiding distribution. Firms can also implement security measures and tracking procedures to monitor goods in transit, that is, in passing, such as sealed containers, surveillance systems, or secure storage facilities, which can help prevent theft and pilferage. Pilferage. Mhm. Basically, theft overall. Part D, Queenstown Traders Incorporated provides distribution services for a wide range of imported and locally produced goods. The firm has a fleet of 10 trucks, and the managers want to use Global Positioning Systems (GPS) in the management of the company's transportation. Explain two benefits Queenstown Traders Incorporated could gain by utilizing GPS in the management of its transportation. GPS enables managers to track the exact location of each truck in real time. This technology identifies the shortest and fastest routes, helping to avoid traffic congestion, road closures, and delays while reducing fuel consumption and travel time. As a result, the company can make deliveries more quickly and efficiently, improving overall productivity and lowering operating costs. Additionally, with GPS, managers can constantly monitor the movement and behavior of drivers. This monitoring enables the company to ensure drivers are following assigned routes, reduce unauthorized use of company vehicles, and improve driver accountability and safety. These measures lead to greater control over the fleet, reduce risk of theft or misuse, and more reliable delivery service overall. And for that, you have your 6 marks. Number 5E. List three financial institutions other than commercial banks. Three financial institutions other than commercial banks are credit unions, insurance companies, and developing banks. Part B, list four services offered by commercial banks. Four services offered by commercial banks are accepting deposits, granting loans, and advances. That is giving you more money than was actually authorized for you. Basically, that is what an advance is. Providing payment services and offering foreign exchange services when you want the money to change from one currency to the next. Part CI outline one difference between savings and investments. A key difference between savings and investments is that savings are low risk and meant for security, while investments are higher risk and aimed at earning profits. That is why so-called investor gurus on the internet will tell you to invest your money instead of saving your money because the rewards are usually greater from investments than saving. Well, it's based on a risk tolerance too, so keep that in mind. Part two, identifying one form of savings and one form of investments. Keeping money in a savings account is one form. For the investments, buying shares, that is stocks in a company, that is investment right there. Ownership in a company. Part D, list three personal sources of capital that may be used to start a business. Three personal sources of capital that can finance a business are personal savings, family and friends, and the sale of personal assets. That is, if you have a house or land you want to sell, you can do so if you want to. Part E, the bank's family is struggling financially. A close family friend advises the family to consider preparing a personal budget. Explain two benefits that the bank's family could gain from preparing a personal budget. Let's go. A personal budget helps the family clearly see their income and expenses. A budget enables the family to identify where the money is spent, reduce unnecessary or wasteful spending, and allocate basically share funds for essential needs such as food, rent, and utilities. Additionally, it helps the family plan by setting aside money for future expenses or emergencies. That is, to build an emergency fund in case you lose a job or something occurs. So prioritizing important financial goals and ensuring that income is used efficiently over a specific period. And that is for 6 marks right here. And that is the end of the exam, guys, right? Again, continue to go, continue to press forward, continue to study, continue to practice, and use this video as a guide. That is it for me today. See you all next time.